Hey, how you doing, Kev? You right, yeah?
You're right.
Nice to see you, man.
Respect,
nice to
man.
see you again,
Nice.
man. Good, man. All the time. It's always good to see you. So, yeah, we done the interview around 5-6 years ago now.
Yeah,
you
our
say?
previous interview. Yeah,
Wow, and yeah, that was a very insightful interview. I had a lot of good feedback, a lot of positive feedback from like university students, people on the streets, teachers, mums, dads. As I'm saying to you, a lot of things that a lot of people was always talked about was the atoms and you broke down the diamonds and all that. You remember? So a lot of people came to me on specifically about those subjects, and they was very like inspired. So what's been happening since then? What have you been doing since that time?
Well, my thing is, I don't believe. Do you mind if I take my hat off?
Yeah, you take it off. Yeah.
I believe you shouldn't talk about things and not exercise it.
Yeah.
And so I exercised, and I do it on a daily basis, exercise the things that we discussed. And obviously I've advanced a lot more since then. And it has brought a lot of fruit into my world. You know, now I'm working with MPs globally. I'm working with governments globally. I'm helping a lot of very powerful people globally as well. My actual job role from that angle is that I'm a mental and emotional strategist.
Okay, wow.
I've been doing that for some time now, and it's been absolutely amazing. You know, as I said, working with governments, companies, organizations. I now lecture in universities. And I just work with a lot of establishments in general. And that has been a blessing. You know, bear in mind where we come from.
Yeah, of course.
You know, we come from Brixton, Stockwell Park Estate. Obviously, Angel Town on your side and Stockwell right next to you. And the journey from Stockwell Park Estate and the traumas of what we was experiencing in our early years to where we are now is celebratory.
Yeah, definitely. So you see, since those definitely. So you see, there's been a lot of successful things, and there's always going to be like people saying stuff and rumors, and a lot of people intrigued, and also I think with success there always comes hate and.
What is this? Higher the level.
Yeah.
Bigger the devil.
There you go. And there's always people unsure with certain things. So I think I want to speak to you about like things that people probably, I think they're more fascinated by and they want to hear some truth, but from your mouth, from your view.
Because I don't talk that much.
You don't talk a lot about, I think there's a lot of, because you're so inspirational, you talk about like the mentoring and a lot of the successful side. We don't ever hear about like the background behind Kevin Bennett. And there's lots of hearsay, rumours, and I think we just want to touch on that and ask, and I want to hear it from your mouth.
Well, let's be transparent. And you know, you ask me and I address it, you know. And bear in mind, I'm like this. Anything I say, research it.
Yeah.
Anything I bring to the table, you know, criticize it. Look at it, but I want someone to be objective as well. I don't want them to be emotional. Just look at it and just say, okay, let me look at it from a place where there's no emotions. I'm going to look at the facts of whatever it may be we talk about, and we go from there.
So right now, I think there's been in the scene, in the media, there's been a lot of stuff about like rappers and young guys, the older generation, like dating young women that probably was underage or the like paedophilia kind of ways, rapes, and that was happening from back in the old school kind of generation. A lot of that is surfacing now, and some of them, your name's being brought up in a lot of the things like, Kevin Bennett was around at those times, or his brothers or his friends from that generation were around at that kind of time, and there was a lot of dealings with like young, maybe girls that was on the age, and that was getting entertained at that time, and a lot of people, mums and women, I think they that's on their chest, and they want to hear about that and hear your opinions on that specific topic.
Okay, so concerning me directly, never.
Yeah.
And I saw like they're sending around a list of people, right? I can't talk for those other people.
Of course.
But I challenge people this. 90s, 95, 3, 2, 1, 99. When did you ever hear my name even associated to any young girls? Let's go to 2000s. 2001, 2, 3, 9, 12, 18, we're now in 20. When was my name ever associated with any young girl or any form of sexual abuse, rape, or any form of entertainment on any level? it's never been connected ever. So, and the reason why I believe I'm very disappointed with our community in a sense is that on the global stage, right, we need to be going out there and doing amazing things globally as a community. But we're so, we're there's a crab in a barrel kind of thing where no one truly, you've got individuals that are doing well, but as a community, we're killing each other. Do you know what I mean? Psychologically, emotionally, character assassinating and so on and so forth. And no one, or little to no one's truly being objective and saying, hold on, 1 second. Imagine if I got your name and I said, Jaja Soze is a burglar. And I take a picture on my phone, I just write it on a paper in my hand, and I send it out, and everyone says, Jaja Soze is a burglar.
Yeah. That's what usually happens as well. That's a lot of...
Do you understand what I'm saying? There's no facts, there's no evidence, there's no nothing. And I would, here's how far I'm against those things. If someone, including me, if someone was sexually abused, I would urge them to go to the police and push charges. If someone was raped, I urge them to go to the police and push charges. Our women shouldn't be touched and shouldn't be raped or any of those things. So I urge people that if there's any form of historical crimes that has happened, I urge them to go to the police and fill in a report and put in the process for people to be punished accordingly. And I will back them, and I believe our community should back them.
Of course.
But what I'm not against is the witch hunt, is the people just kind of like, okay, this season, let's just now put this down, and oh, I don't like that person. So because I don't like that person, let me just throw their name in the hat. Because it's, what's funny is when I saw my name added to the list, if you remember, my name wasn't even a part of the list. People sending it around.
And someone added it onto the list.
And then someone added it on. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like, okay, and if you look at the list, my name's right at the bottom. You know, why wasn't my name there in the first place? And why? And this is the reason why other people on the list, I will not talk of them, because if they've done it to me, they could have done it to them as well. So this is the reason why I'm not going to attack no one, and I'm not going to start kind of pushing my fingers in anyone's faces until facts are on the table, because that's happened to me. And this is not the first time, well, when it comes to that type of, you know, horrible allegation that has, but all different things has been thrown in my direction. And I would like to break down where it comes from, why it's manifested to where it is today, and where it's leading to. And I would like to address it so people can understand the journey of, I don't know if it's the journey of success, I don't know if it's the journey of resentment, I don't know if it's the journey of hate. I'm not sure what the motives are, and I'm not going to spend too much time even looking at other people's motives, because I've got my direction to focus on.
Do you think in our communities, as especially in a lot of the Black, Caribbean, African communities, we tend to shy away from speaking about problems of like rape, abuse, paedophilia in our communities? Do you think we tend to like hide, by not speaking about it, we're kind of entertaining it in a way because we're not highlighting it and the people are getting away with it. So I know even me growing up in the 80s and 90s, I used to hear a lot about things on the estates where a lot of the old generation were like, there was a lot of rapes happening, a lot of stuff happening in garages, and you always hear the mad, crazy stories.
Yeah,
and
I remember hearing
you hear some, I'm saying to you, so we know we hear scary stories and like, wow, and a lot of do you think our community didn't do enough to speak on these issues? Do you think we just kind of like pushed it under the carpet?
I think we were probably too young to understand.
Yeah, we was there. Yeah,
we were too young to understand. And when you think about the community at that time, it was probably like second generation, first, second generation in that sense, when it came to kind of people coming together as a mass and partying and all the rest of it. And so I think that those people, they were in the positions of power at that time. And because they was in a position of power, let me put it to you another way. I'm going to get back to that in a second. Certain things now that we are more educated and we look back wasn't normal. But at the time, it probably was normal. And what I mean, like, for example, everyone's wearing big chains, rope chains or chopper chains or whatever. And because everyone was doing it, maybe it was normal.
Yeah, normalised.
It was normal. It was normalised.
Yeah.
But now when we look back, we're like, that kind of direction when you're looking at kind of like future is not the way that it should go.
Yeah.
So a lot of people's doing their foolishness, and we would hear it as youngers, and we would know it's intrinsically wrong, but who do we talk about it with? And another thing that I think that a lot of historical things should be brought up and spoken about is because there are so much boys out there that was molested.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that were molested, you know, and now they've grown up and they're angry and they need help. But culturally, we would absolutely obliterate them if they ever said, I was abused as a child. And I do think that we as a community needs to be mature enough to help people. Like if a woman says she was abused as a child, we're more sympathetic. But if a man said it, how the attack, how he can be attacked can actually destroy him. And the reason why I say that is, for example, I'm gonna give you a prime example, and I'm totally against this. Do you remember Dominic? Saint Dominic, they call him now.
Okay.
He's the guy about 4 years ago on New Year's Eve, I believe. He must have been at a New Year's party and he was drunk and he went down on a girl and they filmed it. And when they filmed it, they then obliterated him. All these memes and pictures and videos.
I remember that one.
They went to town on him.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Every year up until even last week, I've seen his picture coming up.
Again,
yeah, St. Dominic Day. Now, no one's thinking about him or his family. Imagine if he's committed suicide because every year the whole community destroys him.
Yeah. No one thinking about him exactly. That's either if he's got kids or nothing.
No one cares.
No one cares. Yeah.
It's everyone's fun. It's St. Dominic's Day fun.
Yeah.
And so people are scared, especially males, to step forward to say, this is what happened to me as a child. And so it's not just women that I would urge for them to step forward and deal with certain things. But if we can, as a community, start supporting our men as well, because we've got a lot of angry men, but they're not angry because they're bad men. They're angry because they're hurting. And they've got traumas, and who do they talk to? The reason why I know this because I have had many of them talk to me. Because they know my world don't come with judgment, and I help build and empower. And so when they come to me, once again, I don't share what comes to me. You know? And this is the reason why I think there's a problem in our community more than anything. Because the punishment when it goes wrong is way more than most people can handle.
And then touching on that, it's good that you said that, because I notice in our community, say for instance, like attacking characters, like our communities are we get a Grammy for attacking characters. That's what's in our. I think this has been normalised especially in the black community. We attack, and there's another thing with the gay stuff. Like a lot of people in our community, there's always gay rumours. This person is gay.
Yeah,
I've also heard that
gay as well.
That's what I was coming to. So I've heard that with your character. Do you think that are you gay? For people that say that, are you gay? And if you was gay, would you come out and speak about it in the community? Because that's a thing that people always shy away from.
Well, put it this, first and foremost, I'm not gay. Yeah, I'm not bisexual. I'm not even close. Yeah. And I'm going to explain how that came about as well. Yeah, very important. If I was gay, with my personality, I'll say and what?
Yes, I'm saying to you.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And what?
And that's what people need to see, because I think that's what another thing that people that there's always. I think the gay thing in our community has just been. You just get shut down like St. Dominic's Day or whatever. You just get shut down like that as well, and it's like it's. I think that is a dangerous way that we've assassinated people's characters. He's gay, or he's this, or he's this, or he's a snitch, or he's this, or so.
Exactly.
How did that come about with you?
Okay, so can I go back in the story?
Yeah, go back.
Okay, so let's go back.
Yeah.
We need to go right back. Yeah, and I hope we've got enough time to cover it because there's so much to cover. Let's start when my brother died.
Yeah.
When my brother died, which was like 90s, yeah? When he died, I knew that there was going to be an onslaught of a lot coming our way.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite sure what, and I didn't know where from. And when you are a strategist, you need to always sit back instead of act. And I sat back, and the first time I recognized it's going to be a problem, me and my brother's name, Roger, our names was put in the newspaper, in the Sun and in the Mirror. And it said, his brother's being killed and they're going to go to war. Now, I knew it was a bait, because why would you put our names in the newspaper to say these guys are going to go to war? So I knew because that was happening, I'm going to fall back. I knew what was happening. Then we had police, you could imagine, surveillance in us and all the rest of it, but it weren't normal police. These police were a special squad that were brought in for us. When they brought this special squad in, we used to get like stopped, gun police, you know, the whole shebang, dragged out the car, the whole thing. And then a well-known DJ got shot, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember that
I don't want to say the DJ's name. A well-known DJ got shot. When he got shot, it turned the volume up because they made up their mind Kevin's behind it. The Bennett brothers are behind it. There's a girl I was in a relationship with at the time. I hope she won't punish me for saying her name. Her name was Samara. She saved my life. And I'll tell you the reason why she saved my life. When the police came for me that time, so this is going to be the 4th time now gun police has come for me at that time. When the police came for me at that time, I was living in a house in Greenwich and we heard drilling out the door. But it would just sound like drills. And I was like, what's at the door? And so I ran to the door and I heard whispering, and I honestly thought it was like some man there moving to us. Bear in mind, my brother's just died, yeah? So I stood at the door and I held a knife and she was standing behind me. The door flew off and it was lasers all over me, yeah? Gun police. And I had a knife in my hand. The only reason why they didn't kill me that day, the policeman told me this when he put me in the car, is because she was standing next to me. They said, the man said to me, you're very lucky because today we came to take you out. And he said that with an arrogance, but I knew this is a problem. Now, I played chess from the age of 7, and you know when you've been checkmated. I knew at that time, these guys are going to kill me. They're going to kill me. And the reason why I know they're going to kill me, because if people go back to court documents and investigation documents, there were 2 black policemen from Brixton. People know who they are. Old school black policemen, very known. They were terrorizing everyone. It came out in documents that they were also behind my brother's death. Yeah? And then they moved them both out. If you remember at one point, they were around terrorizing everyone. And they had yardies working for them, the whole shebang. Then they were disappeared. It's because they found out that these policemen were actually a part of my brother's death. That's why they got moved. Yeah, no other reason. So what happened now, I knew that they're going to kill me. And I was sure they was going to kill me. So what I done at that time, I used to play a game, I used to play chess by myself, but I never used to have the chess actually on there. I used to have names and things and all that on there. It used to help me to think. And so every time I kind of said, the police tried this person's trying that, this is the rumour, I got checkmated every time. I got checkmated. One day I threw the board over and I said, I can't win. So I changed everything. I went to college. I went Morley, sorry, not Morley College, that was a different time, I went Morley College. I went Croydon College. And I started to go back and start to learn like literacy and stuff like that. And I started to build myself up, studying. And I used to see the police outside my college just watching me. And I used to think to myself, watch me all you want, I'm not doing anything. You know, obviously there's so much more happening, but I'm kind of sifting through the story very quickly. And I'm bearing in mind that you've asked me a question as well, and I'm going to get to that question. So I just changed the game. I didn't want to hang out with old people anymore. I didn't want to be around Stockwell. I didn't want to be around this. I just wanted to just move on with my life because I knew these guys are going to try and kill me. It was just inevitable. And it happened again. They tried another time over by Minute Road, but get to that. So as I started to kind of like go college, etc., I pulled on more mentors, and I had all different type of mentors. My goal was to have at least 25 mentors globally in every different sector. I wanted spiritual mentors, financial mentors, business mentors, and I started to accumulate all of these mentors, and they were teaching me their specialist fields. As they started to teach me things, I learned something one day. There was a light switch, and I said, Kevin, you can win the game. I bought my chessboard back, and I said, back on the chessboard. And I started to work out ways to win. And this is what I done. I said, Kevin, you need to learn politics. You need to understand law. I started to study common law, maritime law, contract law. I started to study law with a finite tooth comb. And then, as I started to study law and started to learn spirituality, I went over to China. Oh, wow. And that's what I told you, I think the journey before about China. And when I was in China, I met some really good people. A guy named Sean, shout out, Sean is a major distributor when it comes to bags. He used to sell, he used to distribute like J-Lo's bags and he used to make them and so on and so forth, multi-million-pound company. And so me and Sean became close. But as we became close also, I started to meet other very powerful people. I started to then do lectures in universities. I didn't even get to finish school. I got cut in my face the week before Duffus got killed in the exact same location, which was Walmer Castle.
That's in Peckham.
That's in Peckham. So I was in hospital when I found out Duffus died. And that was like a week or two before GCSEs. I didn't get to finish my GCSEs, And so I started to now at this point say, Kevin, you need to build yourself up in a whole different way. You need to maneuver different and all the rest of it. Now, let me try and speed as much as possible into the story. So what happened now, I started to be around very powerful people. They started to introduce me to more powerful people. I ended up in the Western world, Covent Garden, all of the rest of it. Then I started meeting aristocrats. And as I started to meet aristocrats, they started to introduce me to MPs. Now, I didn't know what I had at the time. I was just on my journey. They say I had a great knowledge of the rough world, but also I understood law, I understood spirituality. And so some of them will say, Kev, I've got an issue. Can you help me about this? And the more I was helping these people, the more people coming to me. And I didn't understand. I just thought, like, you know, what's going on here? Anyway, when I started to get to that place, now we're moving up. I'm moving the story very quickly. And I may go back in the story because, 2018, I was invited to go to Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi, I'll show you right here. Abu Dhabi is where I met. And please look at what year did that say on there. Do you see it right there? It's circled.
2018.
Right. So 2018. I don't know if you can see that. 2018. I went to Abu Dhabi and I met Nicolas Sarkozy, the ex-French president. This is before I think he was pulled in for corruption. And I met David Cameron, right? And it was just straight business. So this aristocrat woman, I don't want to say her name, she says, Kevin, go down there and meet these people, but also as well, I had someone that I was seeing was also a part of this event. So it just so happens to coincide together. So she said, meet these people, I'm going to put your name forward and start building relations. I made a mistake when I got there, a massive mistake. This is a major mistake I made. When I got there, there's like Secret Services has to check you out. You could be anyone, especially in Abu Dhabi, right? So when I got there, Secret Services checked me out, and when they were talking, they said, what's your ambition concerning like the future? And I should have never said this at the time. I said, my ambition is to not be a world leader because they're too restricted, and they started laughing. I said, but it's to kind of be an advisor to world leaders. That's my direction. Should not have said that. When I came back from Abu Dhabi, this aristocrat woman, I'll tell you the name offline because I wouldn't want her to get caught up in it, and I'll get you to research her as well. This aristocrat woman then called me about 2 weeks later and said, Kevin, there's a problem. And I said, what's wrong? They said, when you give your name to Secret Services, by default, they would research you. And you was one of the only black people in the room as well, And even though I can articulate myself, they still sensed there was something there about me. Anyway, she said, they're going to put a campaign up against you. Because about 3 days later, she came back to me and she said, they're going to put a campaign up against you. I said, why? They said, because they've researched you and they don't like where you come from. And not only that as well, there's pending issues that another side of the squad has got with you, which goes back to my brother. Yeah? So I'm like, okay, cool. About a month later, all of a sudden, something pops up. Kevin's a scammer. And I was like, huh? Now, this girl was trying to extort me when it comes to business. And because she couldn't do it, I was like, you can't extort me. Like, do you know where I come from kind of thing? Yeah? And she tried all these different things to try to extort me. Now, what was that about? I also specialize in marketing. I've had like online businesses that done extremely well, was making thousands weekly. And so when I used to do some of my workshops and seminars, I would teach people about the psychological mindset of marketing and also the tools to do marketing. So for about a year, she was asking me, please help me, please help me, please help me with the marketing. With her website marketing, I was really busy. But one day she kind of broke down and she said, please, I'm in a dark place. Please, can you help me? I said, okay. I started to help her, and anyone who knows marketing knows marketing is not promotion. Marketing is marketing. That means you put your brand, you put your product out there, and you do an awareness campaign. That's the first stage of marketing, anyone will tell you. So we done the first stage of marketing. She didn't have much money. She had like 100 or something pounds, and I said to her, it's not much. But lo and behold, I done what you call a CPV campaign with her, which means cost per view, right? So you can like do things for like a penny or two, whatever, yeah? And she started to get some sales. And then she said to me, I want you to do more. I said, well, you need more of a budget. Then she started switching on me and I was like, whoa. Then all of these kind of things, if you don't do this, watch and see, I'm gonna slander you, all the rest of it. And I was like, this girl is cold. And I said, like, you can't slander me. Yeah, do what you've got to do. Anyway, she puts it out there, starts slandering me. Everyone, Kevin's a scammer, Kevin's a scammer, Kevin's a scammer. I'm like, wow. So, went to court. Yeah, we went to court because I wasn't having... I can deal with the road talking foolishness about me, but I'm not having you do that. I just want you to see what it says here. This is the campaign they put up against me, yeah? This is what she put up against me, yeah? Warning Kevin, whatever, right? We went to court and I won the court case.
You see this one says?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, before Deputy Judge sitting at County Court, Clerkenwell, Shoreditch, upon hearing the claimant and the defendant in person, is ordered that claim dismissed.
Exactly.
Judgment in favour of Kevin Bennett.
Right. I brought her to court and I had to win the court case because I wasn't going to have her disrespecting me. Yeah. So even though the world was running around calling me a scammer and all the rest of it, I wasn't going to tolerate it. I wasn't going to tolerate her trying to manipulate me. I wasn't going to have it. I'm not that guy.
Was both of you in court? What was that process like? Both of you in court?
Do me a favour. Do me a favour. Look on the date. Remember I just showed you about Abu Dhabi? Yeah. Look on the date when this was.
So this one. 2018.
Exactly. Do you remember I said to you? 2018. When I came back from Abu Dhabi. This was a part of what they were trying to do. Okay. Yeah, but I'm going to tell you how it all matches together.
The Secret Service?
Yes. No. So the Secret Service gave information back to the police that were on me before that this guy, this is what the guy's doing. Because you obviously, on records, it will say these are whatever, and you have pending cases and all the rest of it.
Also, when they looked in that, they said that this basically scamming or whatever.
They used that as a campaign to smear me. So what happened now, they then started to do a profiling on me. And they started to look at the profiling of like, this guy, Kevin Bennett, what does he do? And how is he linked back to the road? So the first thing they tried to do, they tried to do a campaign on me to say that I'm a scammer, right? And that went viral. Kevin's a scammer, Kevin's a scammer. And my issue, as I said, wasn't the simple fact that people was calling me a scammer. I wanted to deal with the root cause of it. So I brought her to court and I won the case. Well, she tried to bribe me. We went to court and then I beat her on the case because there was nothing there. Do you know what I mean? It was a lie. And as I said, there's proof of it right there, right? And I can even give people the court, I don't know if it's called hacket number, but court reference number for them to go and research it for themselves. Anyway, so then the woman who's the aristocrat, then came back to me and says, they're not finished yet. I'm just letting you know, Kevin, just hold on tight because they're really going to come for you. But I didn't understand at the time. This is all hindsight conversation we're having right now. I didn't understand what was the real attack on me, yeah? Then they looked and they said, right, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to hit Kevin with another one. So then they said, Kevin's gay, because what do we know in our community? We don't tolerate
the gay thing,
the gay thing, right? And they believed if we go for Kevin saying that Kevin's gay, then what we will do is make Kevin lose credibility. And if I lose credibility, what happens to me then? Are you going to move to me as my friend? And if I war back with you, does that put me in prison? Or am I going to stop being around the politicians now? So if they slander and break my name, then all of a sudden, I'm going to be in a situation where I can't go back into those circles where I'm doing extremely well and I'm climbing up the global ladder.
But wouldn't you say, so say for instance, there's people out there that just listening now, they say things, you said that the secret services or higher powers are behind basically your downfall, and someone would say, what, would they really go out that far to do all those things just to bring you down?
Well, I'm going to explain that. 'Cause once again, like, yes, they will. And the reason why is because, and what she said to me is this, when you're linked to the road, yeah, and it's not like I was linked to the road, but obviously we come from here. I wasn't linked to the road at that time, and I'm not linked to the road now. When you're linked to the road, right, and then all of a sudden you're sitting down with ex-leaders of the world, that's an issue.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So they done another campaign against me. This was actually, I found it funny, to be honest with you. Other people took it serious. Do you remember this one? They said Kevin's gay. And what is, they had this picture here with me sitting on a man's lap, right?
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that.
You see that one, yeah?
Yeah.
So this is the next one they done. They cut this.
So, but who you think who done that?
Right, I can tell you a few people. So we're gonna get to that story in a bit. So they said Kevin's gay, right? Sitting there, so this went round. Once again, it goes viral. Do you know what year this was done in?
What year was that?
2018, 2019.
The same year?
Same year.
Okay.
Right? So so they went for me again, 2018.
Okay.
Yeah?
But where was that picture though? So what do you mean? I don't understand how what this. Well, you sitting on a man's lap. Yeah. I don't understand this picture.
Looks a bit suspect, right?
Yeah, it looks a bit suspect. Cool. Because his arms around. Is that his arm? This is arm around, innit? Yeah.
Okay. Here's the real picture.
Oh, so there's two women there.
Exactly. I'm sitting on a girl's lap.
Oh, you're sitting on a girl's lap. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's hard to tell even from this picture. So that's why I could see what. Yeah.
So what they done? They cropped the picture. They took out the women, cropped the picture, and then put their Kevin's gay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the picture here.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can upload the pictures afterwards, yeah. So this is the picture here. This is the real picture. And this was actually my birthday.
Okay.
This is my birthday, and if you notice, there's guys' hair and all the rest of it, so we're all on one long table.
Okay.
And so it was like a birthday dinner that I had, yeah. And once again, imagine if you cut this person and crop this person, all of a sudden, this is what it was.
Okay.
And so they done that, and then they spread it around again. Kevin's gay. See, the ambition at that time was to make sure that I would probably go to war with people or whatever. So if people move to me, then the real Kevin's gonna come out, whoever that real Kevin may be. So do you mind if I go back and...
But don't you think that picture, don't you think the people, do you think the higher powers, people to say, wouldn't that be more of like say, man them on the estate don't like you, or some people...
Thank you, you're asking the right question.
Wouldn't that be more people like that you reckon would have cut that out, or... Of pass that around.
You are asking the perfect question, because now we're going to get to how certain things got to where they are.
Okay.
Right. So I have to go back in the story now. Yeah. Now there's a guy who's been calling up our name, and I will address it. He's been calling up our name, but what I didn't know, once again, a lot of things are hindsight, and you put pieces together. So going back. A guy named Patrick, right? Yeah, called him Killer P, all the rest of it. We're all from Stockwell Park Estate.
I know Killer P, I know. Yeah.
Right.
We all grew up together.
Right. Yeah. But I've never hung out with him. Yeah. We've never been in the... Even though you're from the same estate, it doesn't mean that you... You know what I mean? I'm not sure if he's a year or two even younger than me.
Yeah, it might be,
But never hung out with him. Yeah. I've been in a room with him, but I've never hung out with him. So what happened now, going back to like 94, 95-ish, maybe even a bit earlier. My dates may be slightly off. Do you remember the time when there were Mitesfield boys who they were kind of turning Muslim and they were terrorizing people? You remember, yeah? So an incident happened when they went into Stockwell Estate and they shot up his house. Now, I don't think they were after him, they were after someone that he had a studio in his house. When they went for whoever in that was in the house, naturally, if you shoot up someone's house, police is going to come, right? From that time, Killer P, I could tell you for a fact, started working with the police because he was scared. He was scared of the Mitesfield boys and he was scared what was to come, so he started working with the police.
But see, when you're saying people are working police, that's a big statement, you know, so...
That is a big statement. Don't worry, I'm going to back it up. I'm going to back it up. That's a big statement, and I'm very aware that you don't make statements unless you can back it up. So I'm going to back it up, right? It's very important I'm going to back it up. It's a serious allegation.
It's a serious allegation,
And I'm not one to make statements or allegations frivolously.
Of course,
Okay, it's not a hypothesis, it's a fact, right? Now, what happened after that, what then confirmed when he started working with police, there was another guy, and I asked the family's name if I could ever use his name if I was to have a conversation. Do you remember a guy named Jason Willis at all?
Jason Willis, rest
in peace, he's passed away now.
Yeah.
Now, Killer P started hanging out with Jason Willis. They went and done something together, a crime, and by the time Jason got home, the police was actually waiting for him. And when he looked on the paperwork, and he actually showed me the paperwork, it said the informant at the time, and it was unofficial paperwork, but the informant at the time was actually Killer P. And what he was doing, there was a lot of people in Stockwell Estate and stuff started to get arrested around Killer P since that Mitesfield situation happened. Then he went around Roll Deep, the man them.
Oh, like a grime, the grime.
Yeah, the grime, But that's later down the line and all the rest of it. But apparently things might have happened up there as well, but I don't want to get into that because that part I don't know for a fact, so I don't want to get into it. But I know that some stuff was starting to happen. Anyway, so Killer P started to link up with all these different people and things was shady happening, but it made no difference to me because you're not my circle, you're not my world, we're in two different paths and two different trajectories, we're in two different places. What started to happen now, Killer P started to, over the years, try to get closer and closer and closer to me. And I didn't understand why. Why are you getting close to me? Like, we've got nothing in common. We've got nothing in common. He then started to get around my brother, And then, I don't know what happened between them and all the rest of it, but my brother ended up going in prison. And they believe Killer P was linked to it. Whatever, I don't know. It's none of my business. Well, it's my business, my brother, but it's none of my business because, you know, not my circus, not my monkey, Anyway, Killer P now then started to, when that scam situation happened, he started to call out my name. So Killer P at that time, sorry, there was drilling, right? So we had to stop for a second. So Killer P at that time started calling up my name. And I didn't understand why you calling up my name. So I heard about Kevin being a scammer and all the rest of it, and let's get the man that said I should address it, And then after that video that he done, once again, it went viral, whatever. Every time my name comes up, it goes viral. So it went viral, and then he comes up with another video. And it was very interesting what he said in the second video. He said, police warned me. He said, he showed me, he waved the paper. I don't know if you saw it. No. But he waved the paper. Well, go back and look at the video. He waved the paper and he said, police said, be careful because Kevin's gonna, something like Kevin's gonna send man for me and whatever. So it's like, why would police tell you to be careful? It didn't make sense. Why is police telling you to be careful? Where's that coming from? So we done a video that he's saying, basically saying that police saying, be careful and all the rest of it. But once again, that doesn't mean you're an informer. You know, it doesn't mean anything. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to entertain it. My life is good. Do you know what I mean? And also there's a higher power that I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with these sets of, and I'm still dealing with the politics behind it because it's affecting me doing lectures at universities and all the rest of it. So my head is totally elsewhere. Then he started doing another video and another video. And then he started saying, Kevin, respond, say something, say something. And I'm like, why does he want me to respond so much? Don't you want to move to me? Yeah, if you want to move to me, come then. Why do you want me to move to you? Do you understand what I'm saying? Why are you so obsessed with me moving to you? Why are you trying to draw me out? It didn't make sense. Yeah? Anyway, so about 5 videos later, yeah, he kept on doing videos, tried to draw me out. But then behind the scenes, people saying, have a meeting with him, talk with him. I'm like, I'm not interested. My life is good. You know, business is going up. We're doing well and all the rest of it. I'm not interested. At this time, I launched a property business and it just went, it boomed. It was doing extremely well. Anyway, then it got to the point where he started saying he's going to lick me down, he's going to murder me, he's going to this, he's going to that, and whatever, whatever. I'm not losing no sleep over it, you know. Say what you've got to say, I'm not losing no sleep. So that's going viral because people's like, oh my gosh, a war's going to happen. It brought me back to when the police put my name in the newspaper back to when my brother was killed. It brought me back to that place. So I knew I'm being baited and I'm the only one that's going to lose. All of a sudden, I get checked by police and the police said, you're not, how did they word it? I'm not gonna quote it verbatim, so I'm gonna get it wrong. But basically they said, if anything happens to him, we're coming to you. And so I said, hold on a second. I haven't said a word. Go on my social profile. I've never said a word, so why are you coming to me saying there's anything happened to him? Because they believed after the 4th or 5th video, I would have somehow responded. But the fact that I've gone quiet, yeah, the fact that I've gone quiet, they can't get their head around, because when you get profiled, they look at your personality traits and they'll say, this person is loud, he's brash, he's this, he's that, all the rest of it. And I can show you how it works, right? So I got warned on 2 occasions, if anything happens to this guy, we're coming to you. Now remember that these are connected to the same squad that tried to murder me years before. So I'm like, this ain't good. I know what's happening there. I'm getting baited, yeah? So let's move forward. Then something interesting happened, yeah? He's trying to draw me out, he's trying to draw me out, he's trying to draw me out. Then so I'm going very recent now, so very recent. I went to Dubai and the whole load of us went to Dubai. I went to do a big celebration for my people for supporting me over the years, all the rest of it. 27 of us is in Dubai. Yeah, we're enjoying ourselves, we're having fun, we've got yachts, all the rest of it, all the fun stuff, we're having fun. And then when I get back from Dubai, I don't live at my mother's house. I don't live at my family's house. We've moved on, right? But everything's rested. You know how life goes. My mum calls me up one day and she says, police have just come to the door. So I'm like, what have I done now? Like, I don't do crime. I don't do any of it. Like, I'm lucky if I get a parking ticket. I don't do any of that. So she said the police are trying to get hold of you. So I said, why are they trying to get hold of me? All right, I met them down at my mum's house. They said, you meant to be in quarantine. I said, yeah, but why are you going, you know? They said, we want you to stay at your mum's house to do your quarantine. I thought, that was strange. Why do you want me to be at my mum's house to do quarantine? They said, you have to do your quarantine. I said, all right. I stayed at my mum's house, 14 days quarantine. Day 1, Brixton police came. Day 2, Peckham police came. Day 3, they came together. Why are you checking on me every single day for quarantine? Why is this so much of, don't you have something better to do? Day 4 of me being there, a car pulls up. I'm gonna show you this picture. No, I'll tell you what happens. I quickly run out and I went to the shop to buy some drinks and stuff, the local shop. When I came back, I noticed this guy, but I've noticed him before. You see this guy right here? Yeah, it means nothing, right? I noticed this guy. He's outside the house. So when I went inside the house now, I ran upstairs and I started peeping through the window. Then I see like a radio light flashing. So I'm like, raw, this is plain clothes. I already knew it was plain clothes, but when you see the walkie-talkie lights flashing, I was like, raw. Then he leans back in his chair. He actually leans back in his chair because the back of the car's tinted. So when he leans back in his chair, I'm going back weeks ago now, this is recently. When he leans back in his chair, look who pulls up. Do you recognize that face?
Who's that? Oh, yeah.
Who's that? What face do you see?
But that's a bit. It looks like Killer P.
Right.
But this could be, and this could be.
No, don't worry.
Anyway.
I will show you. I will show you. That's the same place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, you're saying when that car drove off.
When that car drove down, no, he pulled his seat back, he drove down a bit, and then he pulled up. Yeah. Yeah. Then when he pulled up, he started blasting music outside the house and winding down the window and shouting all the rest of it. So I went, that's strange. This is the picture here. I said, we'll upload it. I said, that's strange. I called my next door neighbor and I said to my neighbor, do me a favor, just jump in your car. And I said, just watch what's going on. Yeah. So he jumped in his car. He jumped in his car, and then Killer P was out there for about 10 minutes, just blasting music and shouting all the rest of it, yeah? But the police car's parked down a bit. So I said to him, do me a favor, see if the police car's still there. He then drove up the road. The police car was still there, just up a bit. And you can see like the guy said that he's leaning back in his car. Then there was armed response. Up a bit more, up the road a bit more, in a white van. So when he turned around and drove back up the other side, there was another armed response at the end of the road. So there was one armed response on one side of my mum's road, and another armed response on the other side, and then this guy here in the other picture, leaning back. So I was like, that's strange. Why? Huh? Maybe it's a coincidence. So I said to him, do me a favor, follow the car, Killer P's car, when he leaves. Now, it's only my neighbour. He ain't no covert, whatever. You know where my mum's road is, so I don't want to say it out loud, right? So he does a right and a right, and you know what road is right and right, yeah? He does a right and a right. When he does a right and a right, he pulls up. This is his car here. He walks into this car here, yeah? This is the white van I was telling you about, the armed response van, yeah? So the armed response van is here, the other car is here, and Killer P's car is right there. He goes into the back of the car. The man right here, this man right here, you can see someone leaning back talking to someone. Yeah. He's talking to him at the back of the car. Okay. Yeah? He's talking to him at the back of the car.
So it's like an undercover police car. The undercover police car.
But but please look in there. You can see the lights and you can see the radio stuff there, right?
Yeah, I can see. It looks like an undercover. Yeah, from here it looks like I can see the radio stuff and that in the car.
And in the back here are armed response.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went, hold on a second. This guy tried to draw me out of my house. And they're probably thinking I'm gonna run out of the house and whatever. And you know, so I started to look at this and I said, hold on. I started to put the pieces together. He then started calling out Manden's name from Stockwell Estate and stuff. And so I went and I sat down with someone that's very high up there, aristocrat. And I said, please explain this to me. They said, Killer P, well, he didn't say his name, he said Patrick Knight is trying to pull you lot all into a conspiracy case. I said, what do you mean trying to pull us into a conspiracy case? He said, listen, they've been trying for years, Kevin, to draw you, they've called you a scammer. They've called you gay. They've called you the rape thing. They've tried everything, and like nothing's happening. Killer P even said in one of his videos, he said it in his video. Please go back, ignore me, and go back. He even says in one of his videos, and it's a recent video. He said, "If the police ain't gonna do nothing about Kevin, I'll take it in my own hands." He says it in his video. What is it you're expecting the police to do while you're going to take it in your own hands? What's the conversation you are having while with the police? While you saying, if the police ain't going to do nothing about it, I will take it in my own hands. Yeah? Because what's happened is they was expecting me to be drawn out and I'm going to go and do some frenzy or whatever. Because, see, here's the thing. They believe if they character assassinate me and talk about my brother, talk about my sister, talk about me, I will get angry by now and go and do something. But I'm fine.
So do you think? Basically the police and other people are assassinating your character? But because you're saying, because even the basically you're saying that you think Killer P is working with the police to bring you and your basically family down.
I won't say it's my family per se, I would say it's most of Stockwell Estate.
Okay.
And I'll tell you the reason why. what happened, I discovered that I'm on a list, yeah? I'm on a list of people that they would like to deal with historical cases with, whatever that means. There's no historical cases, or you'll deal with it, yeah? And there's a lot of guys from Stockwell Estate they want as well. The same people that they want from Stockwell Estate are the same people that he's calling up, yeah? Now, why would he call up people's name? You know, knowing that these people are not stupid people, but these people are progressive people. They've moved on in their life and they're doing great things. Yeah, you've got like people like David. He's got property that he's doing his thing, and you've got all different people. They're doing really well, and I'm proud of them. We don't talk and stuff really. We've all moved on. Do you know what I mean? We don't get talk to each other that much, but we've all moved on. Now, what Killer P is trying to do, and it's very serious in the sense of like, I want people to understand. Forget about me. This ain't even about me. This story's not about me. This is a journey about what happens when you're pushing for excellence. It's not about me, right? What they're trying to do is, do you know the concept of what a conspiracy charge is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so let's explain it for the camera. A conspiracy charge is when 2 or more people come together with the intent to do some form of harm or wrong. You don't need to do the harm or wrong for the conspiracy charge for the conspiracy charge to be enacted. Yeah, you just need to have 2 people to agree for something to happen. Just agreement. So if I said to you, let's mean you harm the cameraman, and you say, yeah, okay, let's meet at 9 o'clock. That's a conspiracy already.
Yeah, of course.
So what Killer P is trying to do is pull everyone into a conspiracy charge. So if I call up David and say, do you know what he just said? And David said, yeah, let's go for him. That's a conspiracy charge. Do you understand what I'm saying? If David was to then say to Clifton, for example, Clifton, right, do you know what he said? If I said something to David and David said something to Clifton and Clifton said something back to David and then David said something back to me, we're all wrapped up in a conspiracy charge. So what he's been trying to do is pull everyone into conspiracy charges because there's nothing else to have us for.
But do you not think, because I think I saw someone sent me a clip of Killer P speaking, and he was saying a lot of stuff like he wants to, because he does do stuff with the community, he wants to help the community, and you also help the community. Do you think that there's a way that this could have all got prevented beforehand? Do you think that it's kind of getting blown to a stage where it could become dangerous? Couldn't it be stopped before it gets to that?
In the name of the government, the UK government, nothing's going to be dangerous on my side.
That's what I'm saying to you, so.
Nothing's going to be dangerous on my side.
You see a lot of things in our communities that they stem from stuff like this, where when there's a lot of allegations of people being police informers or gay or rapist or all this kind of stuff, and these kind of things always bring problems in the long run. Do you think there's a way that these kind of things can get sorted out before they get?
Well, here's the thing. Let me ask you a question, and just please be frank and honest with me. Have you ever heard me once, online or whatever, say, I'm going to move to, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's war, Killer P. Has anyone ever heard me say it?
Okay.
Yeah? So, it's not for me to do that.
Yeah.
He's the one that does videos every single week. Now, my thing is, just putting it blunt and honest, we all come from road. We all know from road, if you're going to move to a man, you're going to move to a man.
Yeah.
Why are you doing it online every week? I can accept someone moving to me. I can accept it.
So you see I wanted to ask, because I don't want to be, I know you got pictures of and stuff with the police now, but I don't want it to be like where we're saying, even though that's
you want to be objective.
Yeah, I don't, because I also I know Killer P. I know of him, so I don't want to be here pushing agenda where he's a police informant and you only show me a piece of paper, because someone else looking in will think the same thing, but that's only a piece of paper. That could be anything. He could just be making up. So that's a dangerous thing to throw out there on someone. Like same thing. Someone come to me and said Kevin's an informer, and he's. You want. Yeah, I don't want. No one could have come to me and say here's a piece of paper, and I'll be like, that's like the picture. Like, say how someone said to you, okay, Kevin's gay, and they're showing the picture. I'll be like, that's what do you mean? That's, you're going to show me a picture.
Yeah, so you want to be objective.
Yeah,
and that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, of course.
As I said, for most people, right, it's like this. To go back to your original point, Because I don't want to spend time trying to convince people about what he is or what he isn't.
Exactly.
I'm just giving you my journey.
Exactly.
Right? And my journey is my facts. Yeah? Here's the thing. When you talk about the progression of our community, that's all I've been doing. Is saying to people on a daily basis, this is the way to win.
Yes,
yeah?
exactly.
From my perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's many different ways, but from my perspective, this is the way to win.
Exactly.
Now, you've got other people, like, as I said, with him, what does he talk about on a weekly basis? Yeah, he talks about who he wants to lick down, who he wants to this, who he wants to that, who he wants to all the rest of it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I can't talk for another person. I can only do me.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not interested in doing any alliances with anyone.
Of course.
Yeah, I want to do alliances with other people, with yourself and others, but no one that's got bad intent. Historically, look at what they done to Martin Luther King. Historically, it was the man then beside him that sold him out. Marcus Garvey, when he was doing the cruise line, it was the man then beside him who sold him out. Yeah, when you look at what happened to even Gaddafi. I'm not saying Gaddafi was a good person or a bad person or the rest of it, but it was the people around him who sold him out. So I've been around long enough, even with my brother, it was the people around him who sold him out. I've been around long enough to know not to play that game. I've got too many examples of people trying to draw other people out or set people up. They can't get close to me when it comes to relations.
And do you know that's another thing? So see with your brother, like you mentioned your brother now, would you, because a lot of people will say, this guy will say, okay, Kevin Bennett is doing well, but he's in that position only because of his brother. That he's basically living off of his brother's past reputation. What would you say to people that speak like that?
Well, let me answer it in two parts. Part number one is, of course I'm growing from my brother. Who wouldn't? Every single thing in your world is a contribution to who you are.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? If someone taught you 1 + 1 and now you're a mathematician, it derives from whoever taught you the 1 + 1. It's the journey.
Exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So yes, I am influenced by my brother. But to say I live off of him or his name, well, you tell me one thing that I've done that lived off of his name.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Do I go in places and say, my brother was this person? No. The world that I'm in nowadays don't even know that my brother existed. Exactly, I've even pulled away from social media when it comes to like from my brother's birthday and all the rest of it. I don't even post it. I don't turn around and say, this is who my brother was and all the rest of it. Once again, I challenge people to go back and say, unless someone's asking me within an interview and I'll say, well, this is the direction, this is what happened. I do not externally celebrate my brother because my brother is a personal relation to me. I internally celebrate him, but I don't externally celebrate him. You know, people don't see me enforcing policy in the name of my brother. So that's a redundant point what people are putting forward if that's the case. Are you asking me, am I inspired by certain things? Yes. Are you asking me, am I building from certain things? Yes. You should. If you're not doing it, you're an idiot.
Of course. And see, sorry to interrupt again. Who is Kevin Bennett? What is it? Because I know a lot of people are also like fascinated, and also they see you doing stuff, they see you doing great things, and they see you moving around and traveling and speaking to people and meeting people. What is it exactly Kevin does? What is his main title? What do you do?
Okay, so first and foremost, my job role is that I'm a mental and emotional strategist. That's my actual job. Okay. A mental and emotional strategist looks at all the different psychological behaviors and traumas of a human being. Okay. And so what would happen is, if someone was going through stress and trauma, I will come in and I would dissect.
So before you get into that, are you qualified to do that, or is it like you've trained yourself? What is like? Is that like a qualification or something like that?
It's a mixture of both.
Okay,
it's a mixture of both. So I started to study put the neurolinguistics aside because that's just a fraction of whatever. Yeah. But I started to study the anatomy of the brain. Okay. And looking at the amygdala and so on and so forth, and look at what regulates moods. All right. Away from that, I traveled the world and I started to study human behavior. Okay. So I went to over 20 countries just simply studying human behavior. Okay. I built a system and I put this system together. And when I put the system together, something happened that I didn't even know didn't exist in a sense. I was just doing my journey because I'm not formally qualified in that sense. So when I was around people who are the true academics of that world, they said, this is new. I don't know how you came to your equation, but this is new. So I started to build a system that was based upon the 25 scales of emotions that was also linked to atoms, protons and electrons, etc. we spoke about before. And when I started to look at the 25 different scales of emotions, and I'm not saying there's not 25 scales out there, but it's how I built my one. And when I built my 25 scales of emotions, I started to look at, okay, if someone's going through an electron zone is negative, right? They have to be going through a certain mood. Depression, now there's 9 different types of depression from bipolar to postpartum. Depression, anger, frustration, doubt, worry, pessimism, so on and so forth. And so what I then done, I spent 4 years looking at if you're going through the 9 different types of depression, what behaviors will naturally come with it. Yeah? And so we know about the extreme behaviors of like, if someone's going in deep, dark depression, they will kind of just go in their bed, they'll close their curtains and they'll just fade to black. And there's been cases of it in Auschwitz, and there was cases of it as well at the Vietnam War of soldiers just, and people were just dying of depression. So depression actually kills. And so I started to revert what you call reverse engineer the process of when someone's in depression to bring them back to a proton state. And the simple fact that you can't just jump from electron to proton because that's bipolar. You have to go from electron to different scales of electrons to neutrons to protons. And so there's different behaviors, moods, and so on and so forth.
So wait there, see how you're just breaking it down, that even for some people, the young people that are listening or watching, they'll be like, wow, that's a lot. And you showed me earlier on a breakdown you've done of someone looking into someone's character. Can you show us that and then explain a bit about that?
Sure.
Because that was a good breakdown.
So can I just let me just show you something else and then we'll go to that, yeah? I hope I can find it because I'm full of like my notes and my books and stuff. I'm actually writing a book at the moment.
Oh, right, nice one.
Yeah, I'm writing a book at the moment, helping people that's going through stress and trauma. And it's going to be really, really powerful. But see, here's the thing: my thing and my journey is not about going to war with people. They're trying to, my thing is there's 7.5, maybe 7.8 billion people on this planet. My mission and goal is to find out ways, sorry, not this one, how to help 7.5 billion people. And we're building systems at this precise time that's going to be a multi-billion-pound company. That's what we're pushing for. That's our ambition, So let's talk about, first and foremost, we have to analyze what are the scales of emotions. And I know we've got to race through it because time, So depression, the deepest scale of emotion, that's the killer. Feeling ashamed is actually high up there. Guilty, apathy, grief, insecurity, anxiety, fear, loneliness is a killer. Sadness, worry, jealousy, anger, disheartened, doubt, disappointment, frustration. Frustration is the gateway. Anytime you feel like you're consistently frustrated, is the gateway, is the actual gateway to depression. So when you feel yourself getting frustrated, you have to nip that in the bud. That's the gateway of the danger. You got feeling overwhelmed. Then you move in a bit. Boredom. Boredom is the opposite of happiness. A lot of people don't know this. Because when you're bored, you're not happy. And when you're happy, you're not bored. So it's not sadness that's the opposite of happiness. It's actually boredom. It's very interesting.
That's a different way to look at things.
Then you got hope, feeling content, positive, passionate, happy, loved. So they're the scales of emotions. Now, in order for when we're working with a client, when I'm helping a client, when I'm helping people, I have to find out where they are in the scales of emotions. And so that's one of the things we do. Right here, it looks at, well, this is more profiling than anything else. So how even police, if you're talking about police or secret services, what they done to me and what they do to other people, they do what they call profiling. This is just something I put together for someone about 2 days ago. they put together a profiling, and I quickly raced through it. First, they put down your name and your age and all the rest of it, right? Oh man, they're going to be upset when they see it. They put down the name and so on and so forth. Then they say, right, what is the lifestyle of this person? Okay, this is lifestyle. He travels here and there, whatever. What's his toys? What toys does he have? Cars and all the rest of it, yeah? What's his sexual preference? Is he into guys, girls? And if he is into girls, what type of girls are they into? Light skin, dark skin, big bum, this, that, long hair. So they do all of that. Do not think that when these people are profiling you, they don't know everything. They know. Yeah, so the more you put on social media, the profiling starts, and actually Facebook has a profiling system within it. Wow. You won't even know it. Yeah, so even when you're putting people's names next to it, and this is my girl, and I'm married to this person, it's building a whole profile on you. Yeah. What's your religious beliefs? What's your criminal past? Do you drink, take drugs? What's your political views? Yeah. What's your family like? Your friends? What business do you have or inspire to have? What investments do you have? What's your emotional frequency? They need to know, are you an angry person? Yeah, are you an angry person? How can you be pushed to anger? Yeah, what does it for you? What's your background, your journey, your story? Everything needs a background, even in films. A film doesn't make sense unless it has a background story, right?
So you see when say for instance, police, because say for instance, police or someone have this information and they've gathered up all that information, what do they usually do with that kind of information? It
depends on their intent. Some people use it for marketing. So when we're doing marketing, we do the marketing based upon this. If the police want to profile you, for example, and drag you in, they want to know, okay, if we send undercovers into your world, bear in mind, you know that every single crew in England has 2 to 3 informants.
Yeah, facts. I always say that.
And so the informants, first and foremost, will give the profiling, what this person's about and all the rest of it. And so I'm going to mention another name, and I'm not saying this person's an informant, but I just want people to know how dangerous environments are. So there's with going back to like what happened with this whole Killer P Patrick thing, he had someone that was giving him a profile in order for him to pass on the information to we don't know where. Okay, let's play it as we don't know where. Okay, so what happened now? There's a guy named Panda. Panda from day one was the one that was giving him profiles on everyone.
Who profiles?
Killer P, the profiles on everyone. So when you hear Killer P talking about people, it's Panda that was giving him the profiles on everyone. Even historic cases and all the rest of it. And this is why certain things are popping up now. And I don't know if you've heard of, there's a police network called The Yacht. The Yacht. And they deal with historical cases. So what's happening is, well, maybe Killer P's not giving it to The Yacht. But let's say I've got a good source that's happening. So what's happening is Panda was giving information to Killer P. Killer P is giving it to, well, we don't know, but once again, if you listen to his videos long enough, he would start giving you, he talks so much, the good thing is, that, and when people want him to shut up, I want him to continue. And not obviously in the name of like growth of the community, but he educates me on what's coming next. He's educating me. So I love the fact that he's telling me, Kevin, this is what's happening. So for example, when he said, and I'm not gonna get the quote correctly, but when he said, if the police ain't gonna do nothing about it, I will. It made me realize that the police want to do something. Or they said to him, there's nothing we can do right now. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what happens when you build a profile on someone, they want to know what's your political views. Why? You see that in terrorism, right? They want to know family members. Okay, so if you was to be on the run tomorrow, whose houses could you potentially go? You see that on the news all the time, right? You know, this man could be in Southwark. He's known to live in Southwark because the profiling. What kind of cars does he like? Do you know what I mean? What kind of toys? Is he a person that just needs to have toys around him? You know what I mean? You know, because if you want to bug something, you need to know what you're bugging. Does he drink drugs? Does he drink? Does he take drugs?
Exactly.
And so on and so forth. So all of these things is what they do when they're profiling you. But people are giving it to them nowadays because on social media they're giving away everything. Yeah, man, I'm with me and my bro Jaja Soze, man. We're bunning a zook. You get what I'm saying? All of a sudden, it's like, okay, thank you, tick on the profiling.
So you see this kind of breakdown that you're doing. Is that part of how would you say all this information is how you would make your legitimate, like your money, like this is what you present to people to and help them with.
Well, this is what I have for myself when I'm working with someone to find out what's going on with them.
All right.
So being a part of a psychological, mental and emotional strategist, you need to know the psychological behaviour of a human being.
Okay.
And the reason why, because there's 4 stages of success, yeah, but there's also 4 stages of failure. But they're the exact same thing. Stage number 1 is your belief system. Okay, so let's look on the profiling about belief system. I'll just probably hold it like this and make your life easier. Right, which is your belief system. So let's say, for example, your belief is, I am a Muslim, okay? All right. So if they don't believe they can make it in life, yeah, I would then go to their belief and I would say, what did Allah teach you about your sense of self and so on and so forth, yeah? Do you know what I mean? If they're Christian, you know, what did Jesus tell you? You know, about who you should be and so on and so forth. So we look at straight away their belief system. What do you believe that you're a black man? What do you believe that you come from Brixton? What do you believe? Some of it could be blockages and some of it could help you to elevate.
All right.
So we need to look at your belief system in order to make sense of where you have your blockages. Yeah? And so once we do that, we reverse engineer it and then we move it to stage 2. Stage 2 is meaning. Now, some people say potential, but I say meaning. So if you believe that no matter what happens, God's got your back, no matter what happens, the meaning you give to things is, you'd be like, okay, it's going to be okay, God's got me. That's the meaning you give to things. But if you don't believe God's got your back, then everything that you give meaning to is going to be, I'm not going to make it anyway because I'm cursed. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah? So stage 2 is the meaning you give to things. Stage 3 is action.
Okay.
So when you believe, for example, you give things a positive meaning. When you give things a positive meaning, you're going to take action because it's going to work. When you take action, it goes to stage 4, which is results. You get results. When you get results, it reinforces your belief system. So that's what you call spiraling up. But imagine you don't believe. Imagine you're not a believer. So if you don't believe, the meaning you give to everything is negative because you're in a negative place with your meaning. So it's not going to work, so why bother do it? So why bother do it means you're not going to take action. And if you don't take action, you don't get results. And if you don't get results, it affects your belief system, and that's what you call spiraling down. So when you're looking at, when I'm profiling someone, I have to look at everything. So what does their health mean? Someone may have a health problem, and it can reinforce or it can destroy their belief system. So I need to once again look at how can I change their perception of what their health is like. What's their personality? What's their character? What's their characteristics? Do they believe because they've got a criminal past that they can never ever make it into the House of Commons? Yeah. Now, as I said, I've spoken in the House of Commons, you know, Parliament, etc. I've worked with people around the world working on these things. And so, yes, regardless what we've got behind us, yes, it's all possible. It's all possible. And so when I also work with clients, I also work on the next part here, which I call the life board. Now, I believe that well, this is my one, yeah? I believe that every single human being should have a minimum of 9 sections to their life that they should be winning in, yeah? And if those parts are missing, now you know what to work on. So stage 1, I would say, back to your feelings. Everything about you is about your feelings. Everything about you is about your feelings. The clothes you wear, the things you do, why you've got a beard, why your hair's the way. It's all about a feeling.
That's right.
It's a feeling that you're either running from or running to. So it's all about feelings.
That's right.
So what I do first and foremost is work on the person's feelings. Make sure that their feelings are in the right place. Then I look at their core values. So my core value, for example, my feelings, for example, is I want to feel good right now. So when people are spreading rumours about me, I go into what I call a toolbox. And this toolbox helps me to block everything out and focus on positivity.
You don't want to draw no negativity. Think about negativity and drawing that more into your life.
Exactly. So this is why I can't be affected the way that they're trying to affect me. For the last how many years, it just bounces off. So why they're complaining is, Kevin's, I don't know, Kevin's gay. I'm lying on a yacht with my partner in another country. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you want to waste time talking about me, fine, but I'm living a good life. Yeah? And so, feel good now. I want to feel loved. I want to feel secure. I want to feel sorry, I'm so blind. I want to feel secure. I want to feel excited about my life. You know, I want to feel the level of richness. So I do everything on a daily basis. Someone may say, why is Kevin dressed like this right now? I dress like this just to walk around the house sometimes. Just to walk around the house. Because I want to feel rich within myself. Yeah? So my core values, what are my core values? My number one core value is to feel good right now. Yeah? Help build and empower people. Well, that's what I've been doing, right? Deliver quality and so on and so forth. We can be here the whole day. And then you've got your core values, you should have your core values. The next part is your lifestyle. What do you want your lifestyle to be? I have the lifestyle that I've always wanted. I'm living that lifestyle. You know, I travel the world, I walk mountains, that's my thing. I like walking mountains. You know, I have massages weekly, daily, whatever. You know,
but there's a question now. So see, this is amazing. So, but imagine, so what happens with this stuff that you're doing and stuff that you do is that there's also a lot of people that also do use that, and they also create a lifestyle for themselves and kind of like a look, but it's like to some maybe to do it to get girls or to do it, but it's not real. And what would you say to people that think that about you? That right, you're just creating this facade, like it's all this greatness here, and because someone said to me, why has he always got loads of nice women around him? Why is he selling something? Is it trying too hard to prove something? So what would you say to people that have those kind of answers?
I don't say anything. I don't. Because if I had guys around me, they'll call me gay.
There you go. So
if I had guys around me, they'll call me gay. If I got women around me, I don't know, maybe I'm misogynist or I'm narcissistic. There you go. Yeah. If I'm walking by myself, right, I'm a weird loner. Yeah. If you know, like, I don't think about what they say. I don't. I just live my best journey.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not even. It doesn't even come to my mind what people may say. I just live my best journey.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So the next part of it is, so to answer that, I can't answer that question. That's to answer it, yeah? So the next part of it is your legacy. Yeah. So what would you want your legacy to be? Your legacy helps you to behave the way that you that you should be behaving today. So what do you want your legacy to be? Do you want your legacy to be, I helped build and empowered people? Then act like it daily.
Like it. Yeah, of course.
So that's a mirror. And the best way I explain to people about legacy is this. God forbid you died and they were talking about you on the altar, right? What would you like them to say about you? Whatever you'd like them to say about you, write that down. That's your legacy. That's your legacy, yeah. And work towards it every single day. So I've got like my businesses there. So people say, what does he do to make money? I own property businesses. Okay. I'm an advisor to politicians, etc. And I get paid damn good money for it. I work with aristocrats. I lecture in universities. I work, companies call me in, governments call me in, organizations call me in. You know, like I have multiple streams of income. There's no one way. We're actually building an app at the moment that's going to go out to 1.2 million people every single month and going to be progressing. Wow. That's helping people that's going through mental and emotional trauma. Yeah. So I have businesses, I have investments.
So you see that whole structure you do, how do... Because now we know what this is what Kevin does. Now we know what he does. How do people that need that kind of support, or where do they come to get this support? How do they is there like do they just holler at you, does they just email you?
Well, once again, do you know what it is? I've been doing seminars and workshops and stuff like that going back from 2009. Wow. You know, some people turn up, some people don't.
Yeah, of course, that's how it always goes.
You know, so I've been doing it, like, whilst... Do you know what I find really hard? Let me put this down a second. Let me tell you what I find really hard. This is the part that I struggle with, just a bit. I'm not perfect.
Of course.
Yeah? Perfection is boring, but I'm definitely not perfect. Yeah. From 2009, that I can actually put my finger on the pulse, up until now, all my intent has been is to help my community. But from 2009, even further back, but 2009 that I can put my finger on the pulse, a good fragment and section of my community has just been trying to destroy me.
Yeah.
So there's a side of me that's very protective over myself, where I'm like, okay, I am foreign of the community, but there's another side of myself that keeps my distance. So when you say, for example, there's a side of Kevin that people don't know, it's because I'm protecting myself from people. We always see these little memes and stuff where it's like, you see one person trying to help the other person while the other person tries to put a rope around their neck. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you see another one where the person is standing on something, trying to help someone up, and they've got a knife behind their hand, getting ready to. So because I've experienced this over and over and over and over again, yes, there is a side of me that keeps myself a bit distant. There is actually a side of me. But at the same time, I do try my best to help build and empower people from a distance. Yeah. And every now and then, yes, I do a seminar or a workshop and people come in and I'm like, how can I serve you? But please remember, like, we all have traumas as well. And a part of a really frustrating, very limited, small trauma was the fact that when I started to try to help that girl, she then called me a scammer. And so when that happened, it made me even... And then then a lot of the community jumped in and were like, maybe he is a scammer. And I honestly looked and I went, hold on. I paid your rent, when you was getting evicted, and now you're calling me a scammer because you're part of the herd. Oh my gosh, I helped you when you was going through the. I didn't say that out loud. I said it in my mind.
People, you start seeing all of you like, wow.
I was like, what the hell? Like, you shouldn't be the one saying anything more than anyone, because when you're down and lonely, right, you call me 3 o'clock in the morning when I want to sleep, and then I have to say to you, I know you're feeling suicidal, but trust me, tomorrow you will get one step closer to happiness. Just do this, this, and this. But now you're a part of it. But on the other side of the coin, guess what? I understand. And I'll tell you the reason why I understand. On the other side of the coin, that makes me forgiving. The other side of the coin is, I understand that when people on electron zone, anger, frustration, everything is an electron zone to them. If you're a hammer, all you see is nails.
Straight,
Do you understand what I'm saying? Hammers only see nails. So because I understand the science of it, I'm forgiving. But because I understand how dangerous the science of it is, I keep my distance. So once again, if I'm around proton positive people and they're nice women, right, I'm not sleeping with them. And my intent is not to sleep with them. My intent is to get married, have some amazing children, and me and my wife and our family just tour the world together. Do you understand what I'm saying? But damned if you do and damned if you don't. And so going back to even when people call me, or like you said, Kevin, they're calling you a rapist. Hold on a second. Please tell me what year, what month, because you remember on the paper, they were just throwing people's names on there, just random people's names, or maybe it's not random, I don't know, but throwing people's names on there. It says known rapists. Have you ever known me for being a rapist?
No, I have known you.
Have you ever known me for touching a girl inappropriately?
No, not that I've known of, not that I know of, not that, no.
Right. Now, I challenge people, please show me some form of case or proof of historical events that I've done any of those things. Do you understand what I'm saying? Once again, if I'm a scammer, show me multiple cases. Because if one person called you a scammer, how do you, but if multiple people
you can't really say it from one person, that's a bit, but that has to be, that's what I always say, that has to be, you can't just, and I think that's, but our community is known for that. They could see that, because anything, and it's like, oh yeah, that person's I was like, there's no evidence though, like, where's the evidence?
Listen, that's what I'm trying to say, like, imagine, and this is the names that they put down, and do you know what, I'm not going to show the camera the names, and me and you look at it together, because I'm not going to promote these other people unjustly on camera, and then giving it more air. But look what it says there, known Brixton rapists.
Yeah, that's a bit harsh still, that one.
Known? Known to who? To the police?
Some of the names when I looked at straight away a bit like, hey, that's known Brixton rapists, a bit much. It's a bit much, like,
You get what I'm saying? Some of them I'm like...
some of them are, I've heard some suspect stuff.
Yeah, I've heard suspect stuff about some of them, but a lot of them, I'm like, no, I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't heard nothing either. So some of them, you're like, okay, I haven't really heard that, so unless you come with proof or facts, that's a bit dangerous to put people's names in that, because people get killed in that for that.
But the funny thing is, that's what I'm trying to say, it's like, I'm gay in one post, but I'm a rapist in another. So what am I, a gay rapist? Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't match up. Because once again, it's like, okay, Kevin's gay. All right, Kevin's gay. What does that mean? The next one, no, he's not gay. Hold on, let's just call him a rapist this time round.
It's a bit much.
And this is the reason why I don't entertain it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I do not entertain it. Now, as I said, I wish the best for P, Killer P. I want him to somehow get some help because I know what he's going through manic depression. I know it because I work in that sector, yeah? And he has a level of bipolar and paranoia. So I know, I can see what's going on with him, and I would like for him to get help, yeah? He believes that he's destroying me by every day calling out my name. Here's what I would like him to understand scientifically. I know that he's going through an electron zone, and I wish him the best. I know that when you're in an electron zone, it changes your body from alkaline to acid. When your body changes to acid, it starts to attack your cells. When it starts to attack your cells, you start to go through all different type of sickness. I know that he wakes up with me on his mind. I know he goes to bed with me on his mind. I know that almost every decision he makes, from going to the shop to hanging out with his friends, he's consciously thinking about me for one reason or another. Is Kevin gonna pop up today or he's not? Is he gonna do a skitsy today or he's not? Yeah? So I control him. He believes he's controlling the narrative. I control him. I control his moods. I control his emotions. I control his behavior. Not that I'm doing it on purpose, or maybe I am, but I'm in control. He needs to take the control back from me. And the only way he can take control back from me, he needs to find happiness. Because every time he thinks about me, acid builds up in his body. And every time acid builds up in his body, it makes him a bit more sick. He even said it in one of his videos. He said, I heard him, he said it. Well, someone sent me the clip. I don't listen to his stuff, to be honest. Someone sent me a clip. And I said, what does that mean? And I explained. He said, yeah, of course I'm losing weight. I've got all this stress going on. Yes, you have this stress going on. You're losing weight, so I control your weight. I control everything about you. Even the way you're eating or the lack of your diet. I control everything. Now, if he really wants to hurt me, he needs to take back the power. And the only way he can take back the power is moving away from electron zone and finding happiness. Until then, I control him. He doesn't control me. I'm happy. I have a great family around me. We're doing great things. We're progressing. But it's not just about me. I tell you what really makes me happy, that I'm serving people globally.